what is lifestyle cooking? Cooking doesn't have to be hard. Hey, I'm Vicky, you're watching Food for Days, so let's get right into it. Lifestyle cooking is cooking in a way that fits in and suits the needs of your lifestyle without taking over it. Let me elaborate on what I mean by lifestyle cooking. We all eat, but doesn't necessarily mean we have to cook anymore. There's so many easy and quick alternatives to cooking like takeout, frozen meals, microwave meals, you name it. More and more are becoming available every day. But in my opinion, nothing will ever beat a home cooked meal. So if you are somebody who is struggling to find the time to fit cooking into your life, I've got some tips that will help you without it taking a bunch of time or costing you a lot of money. Here's the thing, we all have different lifestyles, but we all love convenience. So how can you make cooking convenient in your life? You have to make it easy and straightforward. Make sure there's nothing getting in your way when cooking time comes around. This is some of the things that I do in my life and in my kitchen to get these hurdles out the way. 1, have a stocked up pantry. Having a stocked up pantry ensures that when you want to cook, you have everything there ready to go, and that the hurdle of, oh no, I have to go to the shops because I don't have this ingredient is gone, eliminated. So stock up your pantry. These are things like olive oil, salt, pasta, flour, rice, anything dry that won't go off very easily. Buy it in bulk, keep it in your pantry, and trust me, you'll thank yourself later. The second thing you can do to make cooking convenient for you is doing your groceries in bulk as well. So buy what's on sale, buy what you like, buy whatever intrigues you at the time that you're at the supermarket, and then decide what to make later. Doing this, you're not wasting time looking up recipes or trying to decide what to buy for what you're going to cook later, because we get cravings all the time. We don't know what we're going to want to eat 2-3 days later. So buy what's available, buy what intrigues you, what you think you're going to want to eat, and then decide what to make with it later. The third thing you can do is have things in your freezer. You can buy vegetables and fruit that's already been frozen and you can just keep it in your freezer, or you can even buy fresh things and freeze it later if you end up having a little bit too much. Having things in the freezer eliminates that hurdle again of having to go to the shops. If for some reason you didn't go grocery shopping in time, but you still want to cook, the fact that you have all the dry things in the pantry that won't go off, and then the fresh things in the freezer will still give you that wholesome meal without having to go to the shops. Another thing as well to consider, as I'm sure you might be aware and might already be doing this in other parts of your life, is that small things add up. Just like $15 on a meal today ends up being over $100 at the end of the week if you do it every day. Little things that you can do every day will help you in a big way later on. These little actions are really easy to turn into continuous habits. These are some of the small actions that I do repeatedly in my kitchen to help cooking become really easy and simple later on. Cooking enough for more than that meal itself. I always make sure I have enough leftovers at least for the next day. And it's so easy, right? Because if you're cooking enough for one, may as well cook enough for 2 or 3. Some meals it's a lot easier to do this for even more than 2 or 3, but it just depends on what you're cooking. So you can assess that, but just cooking enough for one extra meal makes a huge difference. Another thing I do is cook one ingredient in bulk so that I can turn it into different things. A really easy example of this is roast vegetables. If I roast pumpkin today, then I can do 2 or 3 other things with it as well later in the week, and that saves me a lot of time having to cook the pumpkin later on. Plus, roasting vegetables also add a little bit of flavor and just makes everything else that you make with it taste so much better. If you don't do this already, highly recommend. Another thing I also kind of mentioned already before is freezing things. This can be with vegetables, raw vegetables or cooked vegetables, but also with things that you can do in bulk, like let's say a slow cooked lamb shoulder. You can do a lot of it, portion it up, freeze it, and then just take it out the morning of that night you know you're not going to have enough time to cook. Essentially, it's just preparing for the unexpected, because we all know that sometimes we have the best intentions, we want to cook, but then our calendar fills up really easily and we end up not having as much time as we wanted to cook. So having those little ready to go things in the freezer but that you made yourself is a huge game changer, and for me at least it just gives me a little bit of peace of mind because I know exactly what I'm eating. I know that I made it, even though it's also a frozen meal that you could be buying. At least you made it yourself, and hopefully it's even more delicious than anything you can buy. I also do this with things like lasagna and pies, because they are things that, as much as I love to eat them, they are quite time consuming to make. When I do set the time aside to make these things, I make a lot of it, freeze half of it at least, and then I know that next time I can just pull it out of the freezer, chuck it in the oven, and it's as good as new. Last small little action that you can do continuously to help yourself is clean as you go. I know For a lot of people, one of the hurdles that gets in the way of you getting to cook is not so much the cooking part of it, but the cleaning afterwards. So cleaning as you go helps a lot. If you have a dishwasher, of course, that helps a lot. But if you don't, while things are cooking, start cleaning up what you've done. Wipe the chopping board, or just experiment doing things all in one pot, or using the same pot to do 2 different things. So you make one, take it out, make the next thing, and then put it all together. It seems silly, but it does go a long way. So give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Cleaning is something, I guess, that is a little bit unavoidable, but you can do little things like cleaning along the way to help yourself. So as you can see, it doesn't take much to get cooking. I threw a lot of things at you to try. You don't have to try them all at once. Pick one, try it today or tomorrow, then in a week's time, try another one and see what you like, what you don't like, what suits your lifestyle, what doesn't suit your lifestyle, and let me know in the comments below. If you have anything else as well that you are already doing that kind of fits into this cooking lifestyle concept that I've been talking about, let me know. Help other people, because the more I talk to others, I find that people do have a lot of friction in getting started in cooking, and I'd love to help more of you get in the kitchen, have fun while doing it, and make sure that it doesn't take over your life, because cooking is amazing. I love to cook, and I hope that other people can understand and feel a little bit of how I feel when it comes down to cooking. So once again, they are called little habits for a reason. Give one a try, give another one a try, take your time, apply them in your own time, and make changes as you go. Experiment, trial and error. You can do it. I hope you found this useful. Let me know if you give it a try. If you're interested in more content like this, check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in the next one. You're watching Food for Days.